Creating a snappy time slogan such as "Careless talk costs lives" was a real skill. But there was one propaganda poster that didn't make the grade back in the 1940s. Yet, thanks to a Northumberland bookseller, you'll now see it plastered everywhere. Designer Linda Barker uncovers the wartime secret we all know as "Keep calm and carry on."
Posters, mouse mats, deck chairs and aprons, even this little book. The "Keep Calm and Carry On" slogan has got the world by the throat.
It's its own little shed.
But it could so easily have never happened if this bookseller in Alnwick hadn't made a chance to discover it among some books he'd bought in auction.
It was just an ordinary box of books like this, and the books weren't particularly distinguished, but literally at the bottom, folded up, was the "Keep Calm" poster. I opened it out and thought, wow, that's a great slogan.
What Stuart had stumbled across in that back room in Alnwick was a gem of wartime memorabilia with its own unexpected story. I've come to the Imperial War Museum to find out more about 1939, the outbreak of World War II, when the poster was first printed.
It was to motivate people. It was seen as a call to arms for the British public, basically. The Ministry of Information felt that the British public, by and large, didn't have much stomach or appetite for the fight ahead.
More than 2 million posters were printed, intended for billboards all over the country, but they disappeared without trace until Stuart's discovery 70 years later.
We were prepared to sell it, but so many asked that eventually we decided to make copies. When I say we, that's the royal we. It was actually I decided. Mary was against making copies.
I thought I didn't make a profit over something that brought so many people unhappiness.
Secretly, we went ahead and made copies.
But I thought that was very sneaky of him. And I kept thinking it was very sneaky until he showed me the figures. How many we had sold, and then I began slowly to change my mind.
Well, we'd sold 200 or 300 by the time I went to Mary. It wasn't really till 2 or 3 years later, when the national newspapers got onto it, it started becoming huge as it is now.
The Guardian was one of the first to catch on.
I'd been to stay in a cottage in Devon, and I'd seen this poster on the kitchen wall, and I'd never seen it before, and it just completely spoke to me.
Yes.
And I loved it, and so I rang Barter Books, and they got a copy into the office, and everybody in the office went crazy for it.
And did it surprise you then, the extent that it just exploded?
No, it didn't, because I knew what my reaction was to it. I knew that I bought it the minute I came back. I knew I framed it the minute I came back. I knew I put it up in my house the minute I came back.
Mary, tell me about when the Guardian got hold of it.
Oh, that was such fun. The shop just went mad. Phones were ringing. The website crashed. We had to deploy all the staff to put the Keep Calm posters in hostels. It was great fun.
That lucky find has meant extra work for this firm in Cramlington. They've printed 50,000 posters so far, and a tidy profit for the bookshop.
If I added up all the posters and all the T-shirts and all the tea towels and heaven knows what else into a turnover, I believe it certainly comes to something like £500,000 over the years.
They have got the order book to die for. People that bought the poster are the Serious Fraud Office, NATO, Buckingham Palace, the PM Strategy Unit, hospitals and numerous embassies.
It's a stiff upper lip, get on with it, you know, we will keep calm and carry on. And the Americans love it as well, you know, they have keep calm and fake a British accent, you know.
Do they?
Yeah.
That's hysterical, though.
Yeah, it's a very romanticised view of history.
If you think you are kidding, Mr. Hitler, if you think we're on the run.
Don't panic! Don't panic! Right, don't panic, you're all right. I'm in charge now. Now don't pack that.
Well, I think it does tie into that late 1930s sense of, there's a menace over the other side of the channel.
and it's very disarming, holding people at bay, holding the Nazis at bay. And I think it ties into that the time when Britain stood strong against the big enemy, and I think there's a certain nostalgia for that.
We love it now, but what did people think in 1939? Keep Calm and Carry On was one of 3 posters designed together. The first 2 went up across the country. The story goes that Keep Calm and Carry On was held back for times of crisis, air raids and bombing. People hated the other 2 posters with a passion. Pollsters were commissioned to find out why. They watched people looking at the posters and jotted down their reactions. I searched through the archives to find that survey. Does make for hilarious reading. Take this, Artisan Man, 45. They're a waste of bloody good public money. And this one, 27th September 1939. Group of 4 workmen came along. One saw the poster, read out the first line, derisively, all laughed and made ribald comments. And it goes on. The Times branded them insipid and patronising. The fate of Keep Calm and Carry On was sealed. The poster was pulped without ever being displayed. 70 years ago, these posters were pilloried, and now we're queuing up to stick them on our walls. Keep Calm and Carry On is so massive now that a whole industry has grown up around parodying the slogan. This is quite phenomenal, you know, masses of stuff out there. I mean, some of them are really quite good, actually. They do make me laugh. It's a saturated market, but there's always room for one more, isn't there? I'm sure I can come up with my own Keep Calm and Carry On for 2010. Okay, I quite like that. Make love, not emails. Oh, I like it, yeah. That's my eureka moment. There's something about designing lark. Might make a career out of it. But has Keep Calm and Carry On had its day?
It's become so hackneyed, you know, it's on every carry bag, every t-shirt, every rug, every...
It is hackneyed, and I think, yeah, it's been overused, but you were at the beginning,
Yes.
You found it. Anyway, enough of that. Let's have coffee and maybe a bit of... Do you fancy a bit of chocolate?
See, it sort of works as chocolate, doesn't it? Because chocolate is such a comfort in itself.
Just one last question. Who designed the slogan, dismissed so casually then, reclaimed so passionately now?
The closest I've got is through hunting through the archives, National Archives in particular, which has all the government papers from the Ministry of Information, but it doesn't give a clue specifically about that particular poster.
I really wanted to find out who first did it. Was never able to find who the graphic artist was. I think it was brilliant. The other 2 he made at the same time were a patch on the Keep Calm and Carry On poster. But someone out there did it, and I'd love to know his or her name.
So if anyone out there can tell me more, let me know. In the meantime, I'll keep calm and wait patiently.